Okay, in 2007 you toured with your brother Sean, and in that tour the photographer in you was born, I read.
Kind of, yes. Well, I mean, I wasn't touring with Sean. I actually found out he was on tour in Europe and managed to find out his tour manager's number and said, can I surprise him? So I did surprise him, and I ended up going on the road. I sort of became the assistant manager, I kid you not. I would book ahead for restaurants and bars. But yes, I decided at that time, if I'm there, I might as well take some pictures. Little did I know where that would lead to. You know, the first shot actually for the first exhibition, Timeless, behind me, that was born out of being on the road with Sean, sitting at the front of the bus, being the only smoker at that point in time, wanting to record a memory of a time and a place. And from that point, you know, it's all changed.
So you said my dad wasn't really a photographer, so it just allows me to breathe a little more.
Sure, a lot more. No, a photography allows me to breathe a great deal because it's not something that Dad ever did professionally. So, and nor was it initially my intention. It sort of, it has a life of its own. It certainly has. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of work that goes behind trying to come out with great pictures and putting on exhibitions and everything that's involved in that. But it certainly sort of came to me as opposed to me chasing it. And that was very much thanks to Timothy White, who did my first and second album covers, and he saw a few photos of mine and said, you should do something. And I said, you're joking. And he said, no, I'm very serious. I said, well, only if you help me. There's no, you know, without you, there's no chance. And so we spent a year putting the first show together. I was overwhelmed at how well received the first show was, the first exhibition. And that's just pushed me on to continue and create further.
Do you feel more accepted now?
As a human or as an artist?
No, as an artist, because this is your own thing. This is something you...
Yes, well, I mean, I will always strive to be as good a singer, songwriter, and musician as possible, regardless, because it's a craft that I love dearly, regardless of what other people think or say. And I think the same thing has followed through with photography too. I mean, for me it's more of being a visual artist, to be honest with you, because for me it's more in the editing process than the technical ability, excuse me, of being a photographer. But I think as long as the end result is what you're looking for, what you get in the end is what you were looking for, then I think, you know, how you get there doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So is it strange for you?
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay.
No, although many photographers will snarl at that remark, but you know, I understand that too.
Yeah. But is it strange for you to take pictures of big stars while your father was such a huge star? How does that make you feel?
For me, it's taking pictures of other celebrities or other people that I respect within the industry, yeah. Whether they're musicians or from other mediums. Having been in the business myself for over 30 years now, I certainly know what it feels like to be in front of the camera all the time. And so I know about the sensibilities of artists and, you know, when they're happy with you being there, when they're in a mood and you shouldn't be there. And so I try to take that into account, and I think being in that position allows me to get maybe some shots that other photographers may not always get. I feel very fortunate in that respect. Yeah,
because your U2 images are very intimate. Do you think they could be shot by somebody else?
I think there are other, you know, I mean, Anton was literally lived and breathed with the U2 boys. And so yes, he was absolutely capable of being on the inside, but I don't know what there was between us that enabled me to. I think they let their guard down,
yeah.
Really believing that I would be able to capture something,
Yeah.
of the time and the place, and I truly felt that I did. And it seems they agree with me. Otherwise, the work wouldn't be on display.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Do you have to? Do you give them approval for pictures? Can you do anything you want with them, or do you show them?
Out of respect for
Yeah.
them, I you know, we talked about this, and they kindly allowed me to use, you know, the images for the first exhibition, the Timeless exhibition, which has been seen on a few occasions. But you know, they're coming up with a new project later this year, till September, towards Christmas, and we did discuss about the fact that you know, that I would make any of the images that I took available to them for, whether it's press or booklets or you know, artwork. So neither of us wanted to let you know, those go until some decision had been made about that. And at the moment they're still in the process of finalising all the work for the new album, for the project. So I'm happy to wait. You know, I'm not in a rush. I feel I've got some great work with them and continued work with them. I was also on the road with them for on and off for a few years. So you know, there's about, you know, over 7,000 photographs that I have.
Whoa.
But
a book, a book.
Well, you know, maybe down the road. But again, having said that, it's, you know, there are only a few special ones.
Yeah.
You know. And I don't even think. I think that maybe. I think that maybe Timeless showed a few of those. But there's much more personal stuff.
Yeah. So this show is actually 3 years old with these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Is there a new show coming up? Are you busy with new photo material?
Well, I did a new show at Art Basel this last year, in 2012. It was a further development of the style of the sort of skyscapes, I call them, of the clouds, and a few more other images. It was a project called Alone, which I will be displaying at and exhibiting around. I'm also working with other artists as well on projects, yeah. Which has been fun. I have personally, I have over 30,000 photographs, which I've been slowly but surely, since beginning this adventure and journey, have been cataloguing, categorizing, yeah. And formulating into new exhibitions and shows. Yeah. It's actually having the time to do that. It's a rarity that I'll get a block of a few weeks where I can sit down and develop that, because there's been so much going on at the moment, with not only with the new album release and single release and videos and documentary, White Feather Foundation event. So it's full steam ahead at the moment. But there are shows ready and willing and waiting. It's just a question of timing. You know, I still want to tour Timeless and maybe Alone together as a combined show around the world, because I mean the work has only appeared in 2 or 3 places at the moment. So I'm still working on that for it to be seen, you know, in Australia and Asia and in Shanghai and Beijing. The list goes on throughout Europe as well. So while that's being developed and moving forward, I'm working on other projects at the same time. So it's a constant cycle for me now. One which I enjoy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, even your mother said she didn't see you laugh that much as with your photographer.
Well, she said, she said she'd never seen me as happy as that. Yeah. No, it was to be received, you know, directly for the work that I've done in such a way by not only the public, but the real heavy-duty, you know, art critics, photography, fine art critics, was, you know, I mean, because for 3 days prior to that, I was, you know, anxiety, panic attacks. You know, you just feel like it's like stage fright. You feel like you're going to be sick, and the relief of not being judged or compared to the Beatles or Dad again, and being judged on your own work, your own merits, probably for the first time in my life, was, you know, for me, I can't even tell you what that, you know, it just overwhelming.
Nee, dat ik had een klaar gekregen. Ik had een paar films en zo. Want jij doet echt mooi vast. Maar zo ook vaak films van die dingen die jij maakt in Lennons. En layers staan en die layers weer gebruiken. Dat was very busy.
Eentje voor de extra. Smaal. Kijk, eentje daar. Ja.